Welcome. I think you'll really like what we're going to look at today, and that is the way to hide things on our worksheet. Now normally we make a report so people can see things, but in the construction of the report we sometimes have columns that need to be hidden, and the odd thing is that sometimes we want them to run showing, sometimes hidden. This particular worksheet, if you watch the last video, is going to do auto formatting here and write a message there. And what we want to do is, just for hypothetical demonstration purposes, is if we want to make a worksheet that when it runs it hides this column and hides this column depending on the feelings of the at the time we're producing the sheet. And so what I'm going to do is come in here, remembering our top down left right way things flow, is that we want this column to hide if there's a yes there, and we want this column to hide if there's a yes there, and we want this column to hide if there's a yes there. And to be very confusing, we want this row to hide if there is a yes there. Okay, we've got a message down here on instructions to our bookkeeper on how to use this. Run this report each month, changing the dates. Okay, so we could have this, and we want this one to hide if there's a yes there. Okay, so that means when we open this, we can change this. If we're having a problem with the worksheet, we don't want anything to hide, but in production and everything working well, the yeses are going to control hiding. And what I do to make it a little bit clear is I'll take this and change the formatting to a little bit gray so that a casual observer knows that these are not part of the routine report. Okay, and we'll do no, because that will show there. We'll put this gray there. Okay, and so this is the main report. Let's get this gray as well. It sort of gives a visual clue on what's in the body of the report, and then what the rest is, what is the engineering going on behind it, including the instructions. So we need a hide criteria table, a format table. So we'll go to edit and we'll go to format table, and then we could call this new format table hide. Okay, and we call that hide, and we're going to do a couple deals here. If the value is yes, we want to hide the row. That's what this one is going to do for us. I think we've got a logic says we have to stop there. Okay. If you come up with different words for columns, you could actually build this in the same table, but let's just do it this way. Let's do a new table, and let's do hide columns. Hide columns, and if it says yes there, hide columns. If it says yes, and we want it to hide the column, and we do save. And then I haven't quite explained this one yet, but let's just do one more while we're here and add it. Let's call this one hide zeros. I think you can see where I'm headed with this. If there is a 0 in the cell, it will hide the cell. This one's a little bit more complicated. Hide zeros. And if the value is 0 to 0, what we want is to use a font. Okay. Then the color of that font, let's see, I've checked the wrong place. Maybe not. Let's try it again. There it is. So if we wanted to hide the number, it's just hiding the number if it's a 0. So the font is white and the background is white, and so the 0 will be hidden if we did use that. Okay, and so we have the 3 new format tables: hide row, hide column, hide 0, and now we need to go run around and putting those into place. And so we will go to this cell here. Remember, the format tables are available for the whole worksheet, and so we'll go to this table here and we will select the format table. We're more interested in hiding this column. We select that. It looks at cell E1. If it sees a yes, it hides the column. That's what we're getting it to do. Okay. And continuing to hide the column. We'll put a yes here as well. Now this gets a little bit slow sitting here watching me doing this. Okay, and then this yes, by the way, was also this yes was to hide the row. Okay, make that row disappear. And we need to hide a column and a row here. It's a little bit tricky business. But if this is yes here, let's just change this to hide the row. And make its column thing here. And hide the column. Okay, you could make yours more elegant when you were making yours. I'm just rushing through for the video's sake. So in theory, all of these things should disappear. Remember, we're hiding these columns as well. So we extract the sheet. And you could see here that we have all the columns that we had marked have disappeared. We didn't do hide the row all the way down, or we would have fixed all this would also have disappeared. So now we had the format table that says if 0, so if the 0 value, and so if we apply this to this cell, hide zeros, okay, this would do the same formatting here, okay, and so internally to our query on the second tab, we do hide 0 and so forth. There's no way that I know of to cut and paste it. Okay, now I do know that we only have let's just do this while we're at it. We have this hide the row there. Let's do this command and copy. Control copy here. And try copying it down here and see if we get. Okay, see if these rows now disappears. In theory, every one of these cells have a hide row format table attached to it. So let's see if we get what we want here. Now, we don't have a lot of zeros to go and look. You could see our rows are now hidden, very tidy looking report. And we don't have a lot of zeros in our report, but I do happen to know we have a few. And so the accounting department doesn't have any zeros. Here we have children's ministry. Instead of a 0 appearing here, now as a white value. Some people prefer it, some people do not. So it's just sort of up to you. So I hope you've enjoyed learning about criteria tables, format tables. And I have one little bit more to show you on format tables. Let's go back to a format table. This is a cool thing. So we'll go back to any of the tables. And so you have these format tables, and you've created a beautiful set of format tables that you would like to use in all of your reports. Using the functionality at this point right here, you can export them from one workbook into another. So they migrate through all of your workbooks. It's not as slick as it would be if it went to some other place, but at least you can easily move them without having to recreate them every time. So thank you for your attention, and stay tuned for our next video.